Thanks for everyone for joining us on NFL.com. Scott Hansen, pleased to be joined by Bucky Brooks and Steve Weich for some final pregame thoughts. It's almost finally here after all the talk here, fellas. It's almost undoubted that we have the two best teams. Obviously, we have the number one seeds, but the teams that held on to the undefeated seasons longest, the two great offenses, so many different angles to this matchup. Steve, let's start with you. Why don't you start with the Saints? What do they have to do to win this football game?
Well, it sounds kind of corny, but they need to score touchdowns. The Indianapolis Colts are very good defensively in the red zone. They make teams kick field goals. A touchdown scored against them typically come on long plays. The Saints are a team that likes to get into the red zone, and that's where things could get a little sticky against a defense like this because they don't allow you to cross the line. I think they're going to have to hit the edges with Marcus Colston out wide where he can use his size advantage. Maybe get Jeremy Shockey in play also, Bucky, on that side. And they're also going to have to run the ball a little bit. What can help them get to the red zone? The return game as well. I think at special teams, the return game is going to be huge.
How about defensively? Greg Williams made maybe the biggest headline, if you want to call it, in terms of a comment that's been talked about on both sides of the football, the remember me shots.
Absolutely. And that, you know what, and people are saying, well, gee, that was stupid of Greg Williams because now the officials are tipped off. Boy, they're going to call some penalties on the defensive players that hit them. I think if they get one of these shots or two of these shots and get them early, Bucky, that's what Peyton Manning's going to be like. They were serious about this. These remember me shots are legit. My head's on a swivel.
Hard to rattle Peyton because Rex Ryan and the Jets got to him 2 sacks in the first, 4 plays of the AFC Championship game, and you thought, oh boy, maybe they figured out that pass protection. Peyton went on from the end of the first half and rolled throughout that number one defense. Bucky, you're up. The Indianapolis Colts, they've won every game they've tried to win so far. What do they got to do to win the big one?
Well, I think they have to continue to play the way that they normally play. That means playing smart on offense, not turning the ball over. The Saints defense ranked number 1 in takeaways this season. The Colts just simply have to take care of the ball. Also, I think the big key may be Joseph Adai in terms of running the football, giving them balance. The Colts are prolific at throwing the ball off play action. When they get the running game going, it sets up big plays down the field to Pierre Garçon and Reggie Wayne and even Austin Collie at the slot. If they can run the ball effectively, not turn it over, there'll be plenty of plays to be made for them.
Turnovers obviously important in any football game from Pee Wee on up, but in the biggest game when teams can get tight, if you turn the ball over, it seems to magnify it even more.
Without question, even when you look at the way the Saints have won their 2 playoff games, they have lived and died by the turnover. If they get turnovers early, it helps their offense get more opportunities. For the coach, you want to eliminate that. You don't want to put the ball in Drew Brees' hands with extra opportunities. So taking care of it, scoring when you get opportunities in the red zone, and just running the ball, grinding out, having a balanced attack. That is the key to beating the Saints.
And it's so interesting because the Colts don't turn the ball over. You look at the amount of fumbles. I think they lost less than 10 fumbles this year. So that's a big deal. But you talked about the Saints. 7 takeaways in the postseason. That's an NFL record. They should have had 10 had they just fallen on some loose balls in that Minnesota game instead of trying to pick them up. Ball security, I'm sure, has been stressed with the Colts even more this year, or this postseason, this playoff run, whereas stripping the ball, knocking the ball, things like the Saints like to do in practice, that's going to be a huge point of emphasis.
Whoever holds on to the football best during the game probably has the best chance of hoisting the sterling silver football.
You are so smooth. You are so smooth, Scott.
Thanks, guys.